everyone, welcome to Purple Podcast, where we are purple and we have a podcast.
That is correct.
If you're looking at the camera.
If you're looking at the camera.
If you're not, you're just listening. And we're not purple, but we still have a podcast. Anyway, today has a very specific topic. We usually try to have topics, but this time we got a topic. And
we always have topics. We always have topics.
We always have topics?
We always have topics.
I feel like sometimes we just talk.
Sometimes we ramble a little bit, but generally we have that topic.
How's you?
How's wife and kids?
Yeah.
Not
how's the house?
House is fine,
Good.
I guess.
Cool.
It's structured.
Mine's a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Did you see his face?
What?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about Zelda.
Yeah, that's why we're here. That's why
we're here to talk about Zelda. Let's talk about that Nintendo Direct.
Good Nintendo Direct.
Yeah. Wow.
Started off with Xenoblade 3, and I was sold.
It started off with Pikmin 4. And I was sold. I was like, let's go. And then they showed more Pikmin 4. And then they showed more Pikmin 4. There was so much
Start off
Pikmin
with
4.
Xenoblade 3.
And I saw more than I think I wanted to, but also I also want to see more. I feel like they showed off a lot.
I feel like they didn't show off anything.
But they didn't really explain it. So now I'm kind of like, okay, if you want to explain it later, I'll listen. But I don't know. I don't want to know too much, but I also do want to know a lot. I want to know everything, but I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, but that's how I felt. Anyway, Metroid Prime Remastered dropped during the Direct. Yeah, it's available now, digital. I'm about to grab the physical copy
Nintendo's
soon.
crazy just for being like, yep, available
GBA
now.
games?
Yeah.
I saw the Game Boy games were a bit. It was bait, 100%. They were like not Game Boy Advance, but the Game Boy games. They're like, here's Game Boy games, and we're like, yeah.
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 All right, cool. And then they're like, all right. But also Game Boy Advance games. And I was like, whoa!
You're like, all right, this is what you actually want.
Yeah.
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 And Pokemon's going to be coming to those. Woo!
Probably. There's a Pokemon Day coming.
Yeah.
I don't know
happened.
Or it's happened when this came out. I don't know. We're
We'll
recording
see.
this like a week before it goes out, but I don't remember when the... Oh, Monday.
27th.
It'll be okay. This will probably come out after the Pokemon Day. Tell us how that went. I bet it was cool.
I bet
we got
we
DLC,
already know.
And we got...
Yeah, we have DLC, and now they're on the Nintendo
Pokemon
Switch
Game Boy
expansions.
games are on
Yeah.
that. And they have Pokemon Home compatibility. That's my prediction. Prediction.
Is Pokemon Bank free yet?
No.
That's in March, though, right?
Yes, March 27th. You have to have it downloaded before then. It is free to download, but it's not free to use.
Yep.
Yeah, so do that. If you need your Pokemon from your 3DS games or your DS games, you got to get Pokemon Bank on your 3DS. Do that before March 27th.
Cool. Anyway.
Did you know it's really easy to mod your 3DS?
So I actually looked at how to mod your 3DS.
Oh, yeah, me too. I was looking through it the other day.
It's a lot of steps.
It is a lot of steps.
It's not as easy as I thought it was.
You see the thread on Twitter? That's
yes.
Yeah. I was like, they're like, it's simple, easy steps. I was like, okay, cool. There's like 2 or 3 posts. I was like, cool. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought it was going to be like 5, maybe 10
Honestly,
steps.
by the time I read the third one, I was like, oh, this is, or like the second step, I was like, oh, this must be pretty easy. It's like, find your 3DS folder, rename it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, easy.
I was like, oh, yeah, I could mod my 3DS.
Then you have to put it into a different system, plug it into your laptop, download this app.
Yeah, I was like,
actually, never mind. I don't know what to do.
I was just like, that's too much time. I don't care to mod my 3DS.
Oh, the Nintendo Ninjas.
What?
The Nintendo Ninjas.
What about?
I don't know the time. I don't know how to mod my 3DS.
I'm not going to mod my 3DS.
I'm not going to mod my 3DS either. Oh no.
That's what I was saying.
I would never do that.
I'm not going to do. Have you already done it?
Nope. Anyway.
Breath of the Wild 2. Tears of the Kingdom.
TikTok. Talk to the kick. Every time I see TOTK, I'm like, TikTok. I don't know why.
You have brain rot.
I
That's
absolutely do. Legend of Zelda. Zelda of the TotK. Help.
So
it's expensive.
It's $70. And a lot of people were very up in arms about it. And
here's my thing, is that everyone that was reporting on it right away was like, oh, it's a glitch. It's an error. Yeah. It's a system error. It's supposed to say 60 or 70 or 60. It's supposed to say 59. It's supposed to say 59.
Yeah.
But like it says 69. And everyone was like, haha. And I was like, wait, is this really a glitch, or are they really serious? And then it came out later that someone emailed someone at Nintendo customer service or whatever, and they're like, no, it's not a mistake. That is the price. And I was like, oh, really?
Yep.
Really?
So I'm not a fan, as I'm sure most people are not. But I also do kind of understand, but I don't know if Nintendo did enough with Zelda to make it worth $70. Because me and Logan had previously talked a little bit about it, and we were like, yeah, we'll do a podcast on it. And I mentioned, would I have bought Breath of the Wild
oh, yes, we did talk about
for $70? And I think the answer was, yes, I would have, because that game was huge. I got so much time out of it. It was an amazing game. And I know some people didn't like it, but I love the game. And I thought that was definitely worth $70.
It's a really good game, and it's kind of okay as a Zelda game. I'm really hoping this one is more of a Zelda title. But yeah, it's the $70 for Breath of the Wild. For the Switch version, I would have paid.
Yeah.
I would have paid $70. For the Wii U version, I probably wouldn't
not,
have.
Yeah.
But would I have continued to pay $70 for future Switch games? No.
I don't know. So you're saying you would stop playing Nintendo games?
I would say that I would wait to buy them used for sure.
Okay.
They don't go down much after being used, but they do drop about $10 most of the time. So then I'd be paying $60 for everything. But honestly, there's probably a few more that I would have just like really been like, I just gotta have this game. I gotta have like Mario Odyssey. I probably would have. I wouldn't have wanted to, but honestly, that's the only other game I can think of that I probably would have spent $70 on.
I would have dropped $70 for Pokemon. Sword and Shield
I
and
wouldn't have
Scarlet
right away.
Violet.
I wouldn't have right away.
Have 100%.
I don't know if I would have.
I'm a big Pokemon guy.
Yeah, I love Pokemon, but I don't know if I could have. But Zelda, because we waited for like 7 years for Breath of the Wild, and we always knew it was going to be huge. It was going to be the first, truly open world Zelda game. There's so much that went into it. The development time was forever. It moved consoles. It was going on a better console than what was previously the Wii U. And I was like, I'm thinking, in retrospect, I probably would have spent $70 on Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom, however, it's coming out also on the Switch, the same console that Breath of the Wild came out on. Mm-hmm. Sure, it took a while to come out. It shouldn't have, in my opinion. I'm not looking forward to paying $70 for it. And
I mean, that's the thing. So like,
I may even wait on this one.
I would have paid $70 for the first one, but I don't feel like this one is different enough so far. And I know that the game's not out yet. I haven't seen it. I've heard that they are adding quite a bit of stuff into it.
Have you seen the leaks?
I saw the art book.
Saw the art book?
I saw the art book. I haven't listened to anybody talk about the game or anything
any of the leaks or even the art book itself.
The art book didn't really have much.
Really? Because I saw some people say that it looks like just based on the art book that there's a lot coming that we don't know about.
It had some characters, which didn't mean anything because they were just characters. It sounded like it said anything about them. It had a cheese wheel. Very detailed cheese wheel. That was interesting.
Yeah, Skyrim.
Yeah, they put work into the cheese. And I think they showed some like temple doors, maybe. Okay. I don't know, really. Like a lot of it was just kind of like
I would pay the extra $10 just to have dungeons back in this game.
Honestly,
that's what I was saying earlier. Like, if this game is more of a Zelda game,
I think dungeons are going to be in this game.
They have to be, right?
I think they
have to be. Like, that's the whole reason that they're like separating the sky and the ground, and like you'll go up in the sky and do a dungeon, and then you come down and then go do another one.
Yeah,
I hope.
I don't know. I just want the game to have enough to make it worth 70 because playing Breath of the Wild 2 is going to take place in the same area as Breath of the Wild 1.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to feel like I'm playing the same game.
Yeah.
And exploring the same areas that I just explored in Breath of the Wild 1. And that's what makes me kind of weird about the $70 because it has to be different enough for me to be like, all right, yes, it's worth me paying $60 to begin with, but then paying another $10 on top of it for this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like I said, I'm kind of I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it. And what I started thinking, especially lately, there's been a lot of rumors about how the Switch is kind of it's definitely past its prime. A lot of games are being delayed or even canceled for it.
Yeah.
Like AAA games and stuff like that are because it's getting harder and harder for developers to make games for the Switch because it's so far behind.
The thing is, though, there are some games that run really well on the Switch.
Oh, there are.
And look really nice
there
on the Switch.
Are.
So it's like, what's the problem there? I'm not a game developer. I don't make games. I can't answer that question myself.
This is a kind of like controversial example, but it is an example that I'm well aware of. So the new Harry Potter game, the Hogwarts Legacy, it just
that
released
runs like garbage on the Switch.
I bet it does, but it's not out. That's the thing.
Oh.
It came out for PS5 and the Xbox Series. I think as well as Steam. I think it's on Steam as well.
Yeah.
Because any of those consoles can handle the version they made. PS4 and Switch got delayed until June.
Oh.
Because the PS4 can't handle the version they've made. And so the PS4 is obviously
crazy.
more powerful than the Switch.
Yeah.
And so they're downgrading to make a PS4 version, and then they got to downgrade that to make a Switch version.
Ooh, that's rough.
That's what I'm saying. So like, those aren't even going to be out until June because the game is just so far beyond the technology that the Switch has.
Yeah.
And there's other games that I can't really think of direct examples, but I do remember hearing of other games that were delayed or just straight up canceled because they were like, it's not worth putting it on the Switch because they're not made for the Switch. They're made to run on modern consoles, and these modern consoles are just so much more powerful than the Switch that it's just not worth it to put it on the Switch.
Take Scarlet and Violet, for example. Those games were supposed to be made for the Switch.
Yeah, supposed to be.
And they did not run well.
No. Did you see the people who've ported it to PC?
Yes.
And it runs amazing.
Very well.
It looks incredible.
Very good.
The textures change up and everything. It's crazy. Like, Game Freak went hard on that game.
Yep.
And they went too hard.
Yeah, they went too hard. They're actually patching out how many NPCs spawn.
I heard.
And the amount of Pokemon that spawn to try and decrease the lag.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
It is. It is. But anyway, my original point was going to be, if Tears of the Kingdom were to be a launch title on the next Nintendo console, and that was going to be charged for $70, that's when I would have had an easier time accepting it.
Yeah.
I would have been frustrated still, but I would have been like, okay, it's on a new console. It's got more power, likely, and
it would have to be.
It's another big game, and it is one we've waited on for a while.
You shouldn't have waited this long.
I don't feel like they should have waited because they were basically using a lot of the same assets that they use. They're using the same engine, the same art style, all of that, and most of the a lot of the enemy models and some of the other character models are going to be the same. But still, I was like, okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to, in this Nintendo Direct that I knew was upcoming, I'm like, they're probably going to delay Zelda again.
Nope.
And I was like, and that's going to be a launch title. I was like, maybe even just like a month or two, like June.
Honestly, I don't think they could have delayed it. I think people would have been so upset.
It's too late for people to be so upset anymore. They've been upset for
I know
long
they've
enough.
Been upset, but I don't know. Something about this one feels like it would have been a straw.
Or maybe they would have been like, okay, the Switch version comes out still on this date, and then it will also be a launch title on...
I mean, if they announced a new product and they were like, listen, guys...
Then again, they were going crazy in that direct, and they could have just been like, also, there's a new console launching on the day of Breath of the Wild, or in Tears of the Kingdom, and Tears of the Kingdom will be also a launch title for it. Because that's how they kind of did Breath of the Wild. They were kind of like, they were delaying it over and over again, and once they finally got the full reveal, they were also like, and it's going to be coming out for the NX, which will launch on the same day.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that it was called the NX.
The NX. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Ugh.
And it will come out on the same day. And so I'm like, 3 months from now, I wouldn't have been that surprised if they wanted to be like, yeah, there's a new console.
So you would buy a brand new console plus the $70 game and be like, yeah.
When you put it that way, actually, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would have. It kind of depends on what the next console is. And like, they would have to really prove to me that it is worth it. Obviously, I'm a Nintendo player. I'm going to stick to Nintendo. I want to play more Marios and Zeldas and that kind of stuff. Pikmin, Pokemon, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But it's very clear that they're behind.
Yes.
And it's becoming more and more clear, like you were saying, like those games, even their own games are starting to run poorly on their console. So the next console needs to have a focus and power, at least a little bit more of a focus and power, because that's what would have sold me on Tears of the Kingdom is like, hey, we got this even bigger game. It is at a higher price tag, but it's going to look better. It's going to run better. It's going to feel better on this.
Does it run better on the OLED? Do games run better on the OLED Switch?
I don't know. It's got increased processing power from what I've heard, like based off versus the original Switch. But even the more modern Switch releases have higher processing power. Apparently, like the first wave of Switches were like kind of bare minimum.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, they need to do better. Just Nintendo, do better, please. You're falling behind, and you've always been behind, but please, it's really starting to show. But yeah, back to the topic of $70. I am going to buy the game on launch because I want to play this game and I have the money for it, so I'm going to buy it because I love Zelda and I'm excited to play it. Am I happy about it? Not really. It does kind of suck, but I'm still going to do it. And they know that people are going to buy it.
Oh yeah,
and that's just obviously the thing. Like Nintendo can totally charge that price, and people are going to buy it, which sucks because I'm one of those people that will buy it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. You were saying that if they increase all their games to 70, that you wouldn't buy them.
I wouldn't.
And I definitely would play a lot less.
Yeah.
Nintendo games.
And like here for an example, so like we've talked about Zelda being $70 and how we feel about that, and obviously we're just mixed. Like we don't really like it, but it's a big game that we've been looking forward to. So it's
I can understand
because of that.
Why.
So and because of that kind of stuff, like we're probably gonna pay the $70. However, $70 for video games in general, it has already put me back from like playing more games than I would have. A PS5.
Some people just can't afford.
Yeah, I have a PS5. I don't buy PS5 games. Yeah. I didn't even pay for it, but I have gotten one game at full price for the PS5, and it was not worth it whatsoever.
Oh, I bought Elden Ring, and that was worth it. But I don't think it was 70. It might have only been 60. I could be wrong.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Not worth it.
Not worth
$70 takes up a ton of space. You have to download the individual game modes. Not worth it one bit. So everything else I've gotten for PS5, I've gotten used or traded or something. And like
I think same for me. Everything has been used.
Tristan let me borrow Miles Morales Spider-Man for the PS5. I got given Elden Ring. I bought.
Do you have Elden Ring?
Yeah. Yeah, I have Elden Ring.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on the shelf.
Oh.
I haven't touched it.
Okay.
I have it.
Interesting.
I got given Elden Ring. I bought Final Fantasy Crisis Core for the PS5 recently, but I got that used, and I've waited for a while for it. I got it for $40. So.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I got $30 off of that game.
Yeah.
It's $70 at new.
Yeah.
So
I bought it for the Switch.
Yeah.
60.
There you go. You saved $10.
But it runs a lot worse.
I imagine it does.
On the Switch.
Uh-huh.
If you buy that game.
Wink, wink.
Buy the PS5 version.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever else. Steam, maybe. Is it on
Steam?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Xbox. Just don't buy it on the Switch. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Just anything but Switch.
Yeah, so I got Crisis Core. And we got Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
And that, for some people, Hogwarts Legacy is worth the $70. Personally, I wouldn't spend money on it at all. I haven't. Just so you know, I didn't spend the money on the game. And I don't support it for other reasons, but also like the game looks fine. And maybe for some people it would be worth $70. Like it's honestly for a lot of people that's their Breath of the Wild. Honestly. And I could see, especially a lot of like non-gamers that don't play video games very often, they can justify dropping $70 on one game that they've waited for a long time. But I'm somebody that consumes video games like I eat.
And dropping $70 is a lot to drop.
It sure is.
On a constant basis.
Yeah. I play new video games probably every week. I'm serious. I play another game like every week. And it's expensive. It's a bad idea. It's expensive and time consuming. But seriously, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I started playing the first Pikmin. The week after that, I started playing. I picked up Sonic Heroes again. I haven't played that in years, so I decided to start playing Sonic Heroes, which I did not buy this time. I just had it. I just have never really played it. So anyway, bought Pikmin, started playing it. Picked up Sonic Heroes, started playing it. The next week, I bought Sonic Colors on the DS. I played through that already. It was really good. Now I have Blue Fire. I just got Blue Fire, and I've been working on that. And as soon as I get a few of these knocked out, I'm going to move on to Crisis Core. And I'll play Crisis Core, and then I've got more and more games lined up because
you actually play so many video games.
I'm playing a lot of video games, but like I'm moving through them.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm trying to actually get them taken out, but like But again, the current price point on these games, Blue Fire was $20. It's like okay, whatever. Pikmin, those games are pricey. I paid $60 for Pikmin, the first one. So I paid $60 for Pikmin, $20 for Blue Fire, $15 for Sonic Colors. But again, these games are old, so some of them are going to just drop as time goes on. Yeah. Like especially DS games, they haven't really held value. There's a few that are worth money.
Pokemon.
But most of them don't really hold value.
Yeah.
GameCube games are up there. So Pikmin on the GameCube was it was worth like $60.
Was Pikmin 2 is like
Pikmin 2 is like almost $100.
Yeah.
It's like some around 80, some see it like sell around 100, 120. It's an expensive game. And that's one I want, but that's one I'm gonna hold off on. But that's what I'm saying, like some of the U games, in a way it makes sense that they've kind of held value, they're just harder to find. And then some were like rated poorly or whatever, and poor previous sales don't really keep them up either. That's why Sonic Colors is cheap. It's like it was okay. But I liked it.
Gotcha.
But I liked it. Like Blue Fire's an indie game, so I only paid like $20 for it. And then I got a used copy of Crisis Core, so I managed to snag it for $40. But if I was out here buying, let's say some of the other games I wanted to play, like I wanted to play Final Fantasy Origin. I still haven't played that. Stranger of Paradise. $70 for the PS5 copy.
Still?
Yep. Can't justify it. Just can't justify it. And then if I wanted to get Crisis Core when it was new, $70. I wanted Call of Duty. I got that for Christmas, so I didn't have to pay for it. But yeah, it was $70. And so PS5 games being at $70 has just made me not play them. It's made me not buy them. I wait until they're... And like, I could see myself doing the same thing for Nintendo games, even though I want to play them when the hype is new, when the hype is fresh, when people are playing it and play it and talk with them. But I would rather save the $10 than be in on the conversation, honestly.
That's fair.
Because I get that. Especially if there's like Nintendo's slate right now, my wallet hurts. Yeah. They're like Metroid Prime, which is only $40. Thank you, Nintendo. That's crazy, by the way. That remaster looks insane.
Looks very good.
I have the GameCube copy, and like, just seeing the difference is bananas. Like really, it's so amazing. And $40, I'm here. I gotcha. But that's $40 I gotta put down. I missed out on Bayonetta 3. Still have to play that. That's still $60. And then let's see, upcoming games. They've got Pikmin 4 in July. It's gonna be $60. Zelda in May is gonna be $70. I feel like they announced some other games that I was interested in during that. Oh, the Phantom Detective. Well, maybe that'll be $40. It's a DS game port.
Yeah, I could see that being $40, but it will probably be $60.
Yeah, it'll be like $40 to $60.
Yeah.
They announced a lot of bangers in that direct.
Yeah, I felt like they did, but for some reason not.
Yeah, like I'm just kind of blanking on it. But like those 4 games and like on their own, like $80 for, let's say it's $80 for the remaster and the 2 remasters, the Ghost Detective and Metroid.
Okay.
And then Kirby's about to come out too, which is gonna be $60.
Yeah.
So Kirby $60, Metroid $40, Phantom Detective $40, Zelda $70, Pikmin $60. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money right there.
That's a lot of money, and those are games that I really, really want to play. Phantom Detective I can hold off on. I still have the DS game, and it might even be cheaper just to like download it digitally. That's one I could see myself just digital downloading. Although I really, really love that game, so I might want the box. But the DS version of it, $70.
Cool.
That game is expensive.
Sell it and get the Switch version.
No. But yeah, that's what so. It's a lot of money to buy video games and to play them, and I want to play video games.
I realize that I don't play enough video games.
You realize that you don't?
You're like, yeah, I want to play this game and this game and this one and this one and that one and that one, and you've got like 10 games racked up, and I'm like,
I have a lot.
I can't wait for Zelda.
Yeah.
And Kirby.
Look, mine is like, I have a problem. Yeah, that's the thing. I like so many different genres, and I like having games to play. And there's been times where I've been caught up on, like, pretty much caught up on all my games. There's a bunch of games, like, I dropped and just did not have an intention to come back to. And I was just looking forward to, like, 1 or 2 new games coming up. In those weird periods where I didn't have a game to play, it was really weird. I'm like, I want to play video games, so what do I play? I don't have anything to play. And then I started realizing, I was like, I should branch out a little bit. And I started getting into, like, JRPGs, which was a really bad idea because I had never played JRPGs. And it started with, like, Dragon Quest, and then it spiraled from there. So now, like, that's why I have, like, Nier.
You gonna play One Piece Odyssey?
I want to, but I'm not caught up on One Piece. See, I don't have time to watch anime either. Like, how am I supposed to watch anime and play all these games and watch movies that are coming out that I want to see? There's still 3 movies in theater that I want to watch.
3?
3!
What is wrong with you?
I have a lot of hobbies, I guess. Well, not hobbies, like a lot of interests. There's a lot of things that get my attention that I want to see. Like, one of them I want to see if they can redeem themselves. The Avatar. This is kind of spiral off a little bit, but I watched the first Avatar movie while I was on vacation recently. I had watched it when I was a kid, and I didn't remember anything about it. Watched it again, and it was okay this time. Everyone's saying the new one is really, really good. The Way of Water, and I like water. I'm the water guy. I'm the fish guy. No, I don't know. I don't know. For whatever reason, I actually really do enjoy watching, like, the visual effects of water and, like, seeing people come up with, like, creatures that would live in, like, alien waters or whatever. I mean, because it's an alien planet full of, like, I want to check it out. And I've heard a lot of people say this movie's really good. So I want to see that. The Puss in Boots movie. I know that's kind of fun, but everyone says it's a banger. Yeah. And, like, I've got to watch it. And there was something else that was in theaters, and it's lower on my list of things to watch. But it's stuff like that. Like, I want to watch movies, but I want to watch anime. But I have 30 games to play right now. I'm still working on Nier. Yeah. I bought Trials of Mana like 2 years ago. I haven't even opened it.
I didn't buy that game because I knew I would never beat it.
And it has 3 story paths. I made a mistake.
Trials of Mana has 3?
I think so.
Isn't that the one where you have like 8
it's the Switch release. Yeah.
Oh, no, this is a different game.
No.
It's something with Mana.
Secret of Mana?
Maybe.
And then there's another one that's before Origin of Mana. Something like that.
It's one of those. But it's got like multiple characters and they each have their own side story.
Secret of Mana is on the SNES.
No, it was on the Switch.
And it got remastered for the Switch.
I don't remember.
But this one's
game.
3D. It's Trials of Mana. It's like a 3D action RPG. There are a few characters, but there's 3 characters with like their own stories, I believe. And I think you have to play all 3 of those to get like the true ending. And like that's not happening.
Yeah.
I want to play it so bad. I haven't. I haven't even opened it. Because as I got it, a bunch of other games came out. And I was like,
play on a Plus someday.
Maybe. But what I'm getting at is that for people like me who want to try a bunch of different video games, who want to play different video games, and obviously having a big release here and there that you can look forward to, it makes it difficult to justify even that one big release sometimes. For me, if it's Tears of the Kingdom coming out, I'm skipping other $70 games because I want to play Breath of the Wild. And when Breath of the Wild comes out, I want to feel more comfortable spending the $70 to play Breath of the Wild. And that's just because I'm in, like, I would consider myself in the Zelda fandom. I like to talk about Zelda. My friends like to talk about Zelda. I like to play Zelda. And I've always played the games. There's only one I haven't played. I'm going to fix that soon.
It's the best one.
And I'm going to fix that soon. Probably not on the channel, but well, this is on entertainment. But
yeah. Go check out
Tell them.
Go check out Purple Coin Plus.
Go check out Purple Coin Plus. We play video games there. Here we do
this
talking and sometimes acting.
Hey, we have something coming out soon. In March.
Yeah.
You guys remember that Mega Man trailer we posted? It's coming out in March. We promise. This time for sure. Yeah. But yeah. That's kind of it, right? Like
that really is. It's just it sucks having to think about it because it's weird that it's $10. It's just $10, but it's like I can't just do it. I
think it's because it's such a different standard than what we're used to.
Yeah.
Because games used to be $60. I
remember when they were $40.
I was about to say, and like DS games were even cheaper than that. So it's weird when all of a sudden it just has that shift.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are we paying more though for this,
and especially for a Switch game.
Especially for
a Switch game. Honestly, that's my biggest point.
I can see it. You know, games are being made a lot better. More people are working on the games. Fine, I get it. I understand. But for a Nintendo Switch game that runs like Xbox 360, it's
like a PS3 maybe.
Yeah, PS3. It's like, why? You shouldn't be charging the same much.
2 generations ago.
Yeah, you shouldn't be charging the same as the people who are so far ahead of you.
Yeah,
that just doesn't make sense.
That's really the biggest thing when it comes down to it for me, is that it's a Switch game. I was comfortable paying $60, but you want to raise it up, and then you're going to charge me for DLC. They're going to have DLC.
They're going to have DLC.
And it's going to be what, $20, $30?
Yeah.
If it's $30, you end up paying $100 for the
$100 for
Wild
this
experience or Tears of the Kingdom experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gosh, DLC is such another topic on its own.
It sure is.
Because I have opinions about DLC, but we'll get into that some other time maybe. Yeah, that's going to do it for this one. That's our opinions on it. Let us know what you guys think about $70 price tag.
What do you think about Tears of the Kingdom? Does it look like $70 to you? Let us know.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.